Well, good morning from California almonds. We drove 18 hours yesterday to get down here. It was just a slow trip, a lot of stops. Nothing special made it take that long. Should have been about 12, but Byron's folks are with us. A lot of these are his dad's bees, and we're running on their timeline. So, and then we got lost at once. So anyway, we're here. We're gonna run and get some syrup this morning and start feeding some bees. So we'll try to get more recorded as we go along and see if I get a video for you guys. Oh, we've come into town, hit Man Lake, and pick up some syrup so we can feed all those bees that we saw this morning at daylight. Didn't make it down in time yesterday to get the syrup on, so here we are loading syrup. Just thought I'd get a quick picture of it and we'll get that edited in. So even out here you can see, boy, some hives are really active. It's not super warm today. This one's going crazy and some others aren't. There's bees in them. I looked, but they're not flying and going nuts yet. But I'm not sure there's any in that one. That one's full. Nobody flying out the front. So we're getting ready to feed them. The sugar bear's all loaded up in his suit. And we finally got the pump running, so we're gonna fill them up. So I'm gonna turn her off and go get busy with it. All right, we're moving through these. It's a slow process, marking the dead outs and moving pollen patties to the live ones. And the hive that I showed a little earlier that was really busy, it was being robbed. It didn't take going through too many of the hives to see that what was going on. They were, the other ones that were full like that were docile. They were in a cluster, they're doing their thing. That one, when I opened the lid, was just busy. They were going crazy. They were flying out but not attacking, which generally means they're not defending. And when they're not defending, that means they're stealing it. So anyway, just thought I'd point that out and show you a little bit of progress here. We're checking and cleaning feeders and breaking the seal on the lid, and then the guy comes behind and puts syrup in the feeders. All right, I'll see if I can get a little shot of what we're doing here. I'm wearing rubber gloves because my gloves were wet, and I hung them up by the wood stove at home, and that's where they are, and I'll bet they're dry. So sorry about the sideways while I got the glove on. So what we're doing, we're popping the box and taking a look and making sure, number one, that there's bees in it. Check the feeder, make sure it's not full of dead bees. Give them a little smoke so when Byron comes back to feed, they're not extra angry. So some of them have pollen patties, some have consumed them already. So here's one that's got the medium boxes on the top. So they run a medium and a deep, and they run the medium on top in the summers when they're not feeding, but as you can see, the feeder is in the bottom. So we need to get the deep, it's in the bottom with the feeder, up on top. So I need to remove the deep box, clean a little of this out, Then I'll take the medium box, put it on the bottom, locked in on the clip. Take the top box, the deep box, and put it on the top. Now we're at the right configuration to get into the feeder and feed the bees. But they have the whole bottom box to also use as expand room as they grow, because we're feeding pollen patties and they're getting syrup, so they'll start to grow. That's why mine are down here, so they'll be strong earlier than they would be at home. It's morning 2 in California. We got probably a third of the bees fed yesterday, and getting some syrup transferred around into different tanks so we can send a tank into town to get some more syrup. See if we can get them finished up today. So the hive I was showing you yesterday that was really busy and active when everybody else was a little slower, as we went through popping lids and checking feeders and things, I got it open and realized that it was a box full of bees, but they were not acting right. They weren't in a cluster. They were busy. The entire hive was being robbed out. For some reason, everybody decided that was the one. There were a number of other dead hives, but that was the one they were stealing from. So it just gives you a different picture when you get to open up hundreds of hives in a day. You start getting a real feel for what they're doing quick. You know, this one isn't right, something's wrong here. So that's been a fun part of this for me, is just getting the chance to be in more hives regular. Teaches you a lot. So anyway, it's a little chilly here this morning, a little frost, but I think we're going to get a little sun so it'll warm up. See how many stings I can get today. Started out yesterday with no gloves on because mine are sitting by my wood stove at home trying to dry, and I forgot to pack them. So finally put some rubber ones on and kept them off my hands. So got a little swelling in my right hand, but that's all right. That's where the arthritis is. It's supposed to help arthritis. So anyhow, we'll get you a segment a little later maybe. Oh, it's another quick blip here in the bees. It's a little after 10 o'clock, I guess. We just ran the tank dry, and Byron, aka the Sugar Bear, is on his way back from town with another barrel, and we'll get to going again. We've come a long ways. We've got what's here in front of me, and I crossed over there by the barn, and a few on the other side of the barn there. And that'll have us done. Probably get them whipped out today sometime. Be able to turn around and head back home. No. I was glad we ran out of syrup when we did. My back was starting to scream at me. It was time to stand up straight for a minute. Next time I make this trip, there'll be a bottle of aspirin in the bag. Anyway, I'll shoot you another one in a little bit. Well, we're just about to get out of here. We got most of them fed. Byron's dad's gonna finish them up tonight. He'll get out of here tomorrow. We're gonna drive up about 5 hours to my cousin's place and spend the night. But you can see all these bees that just got in here. This was the load we brought down, and they're all out doing their orientation flights because the sun's shining, and they're trying to figure out where to go. A week from now, Byron's dad will be back down here, and he'll be rechecking them and combining some of the weaker hives that we put rocks on the lids of the dead outs, and we put rocks on the front if they're a little weak. So he'll combine some of those, then he'll move them into the almonds next week. So anyway, we got the job done. They've all got something to eat and build their colonies up a little for the next week. Anyhow, don't know if I'll have any other footage of fun on the way home or not, but we'll start the trip. So footage on our way out of here. Quite a few almond orchards. And there's also quite a bit of rolling cattle country. Kind of a neat location if it wasn't in the middle of California. So we get done a little early. We're going to head part way home tonight, and then the rest of the way tomorrow. And Byron has to turn right around and come back as soon as he gets home, bring the forklift back. The trees are starting to bud sooner than they thought, and they need to get them moved in to the orchard. As soon as he can get back with the forklift, it'll get in the fields.